counsel, you may proceed.
Hello, my name is Abhilash, and I'll be supporting the government. We, the defendant's attorneys, strongly believe that the government should not finance higher education in prisons. One of the reasons we feel this way is there's a cheaper and effective alternative that can bring change. One of the purposes of imprisonment is to bring change to those who have committed crimes. Teaching meditation to inmates can help to bring that change. The plaintiff wants the government to spend billions of dollars on higher education when there is a brilliant answer. That is meditation. Meditation provides a strong bridge that will lead inmates into the right mind. A study of meditation in San Francisco showed that there was only one in-custody fight out of 360 inmates who meditated. This compares to 297 fights out of 360 inmates in a regular jail. Another study showed that absenteeism fell by 85% for those who meditated. Injuries fell by 70%, while productivity increased by 120%. These are drastic improvements that inmates need to make in order to find mental balance once they are released. A meditation instructor in Oregon stated there's a 50% recidivation decline 3 years after a prisoner who meditated is released. Based on results from studies at several maximum security prisons, 56% fewer inmates are convicted of new crimes when they're released after beginning the Transcendental Meditation Program. Furthermore, participants of this program are 45% less likely to be convicted of payroll violations or any other reason. For every dollar the United States government spends on meditation, they will save $10 more. Total savings over 5 years for every 1,000 inmates and 100 Correctional Institute workers is estimated at $31.6 million. These projections imply that if we take a substantial amount of the 2.3 million people in jail, we can get savings in the tens of billions of dollars. We can use this money to improve society. With 54% of the money going back toward the general public, meditation will save hard-earned dollars for citizens. A clear example of the effectiveness of meditation was shown by Kiran Bedi, a police officer in India at Tihar Jail in 1994. The jail held the 9,000 most dangerous prisoners of India. Through meditation, Bedi was able to bring change to these prisoners, something scholars tried to do but failed. The prisoners were then hired by the government because of their positive attitude. By following her inexpensive example, the United States government can ensure a bright future for prisoners and society as a whole. Subpoint B, funding schools. Due to free education in prisons, the government will have to spend less on schools. Schools are crucial because they build those who control the future. In 2008, for every $1.19 the government was spending on prisons, they were only spending $1 on education. The state of Michigan is currently spending between $30,000 to $40,000 for each prisoner. They are struggling to give each school $7,000 for each student. How is this fair? Currently, we are ranked first nationally for amount of money spent toward each prisoner. That's not something we get a trophy for. The expenditure for elementary and secondary schools is expected to increase by 22% between the years of 2008 and 2020. However, during the same period, a 3% decrease in the number of high school graduates is also expected. What does this mean? This shows that even with increased expenditure, the government cannot maintain the amount of high school graduates at a steady rate. If we take more money away from schools, the high school graduate level will decrease even further. Subpoint C, providing work to inmates. Free education is a privilege, not a right for a citizen. While the government does not provide this privilege to many of its law-abiding citizens, then why should it provide it to lawbreakers? In 1993, according to Senator Huntington, prisoners received as much as $200 million in Pell Grants. Each prisoner degree currently costs $5,000 a year, while hard-working students currently in college are struggling to pay $25,000 in debt. How is this fair? The answer is to let prisoners earn their own money for higher education. Prisons should provide work for inmates and pay them for each hour they work. At Eastern Oregon Correctional Institute, prisoners get $6.25 for each hour they work. And more prisons are doing this for net profits. The money could be spent on prisoner training instead of the government providing it. This will pose 3 resolutions. Number 1, the government will not have to use as much tax money. Number 2, the inmates will pay attention and work hard at higher level courses. If we just provide free education, the inmates might just take it as a privilege. We don't know that they're going to work hard and actually use this to improve their lives. If we have them work for their education, however, we know that they'll work hard at these and actually change from them. Number 3, the prisoners will understand the lives of hard-working citizens and will be less likely to commit a crime that will hurt Americans. Think about it. Many prisoners have low income and do not understand what hard work is. They have to steal. So if they understand how hard many Americans are working, they'll be less likely to commit crimes that will hurt citizens. These are the important reasons why the government should not fund higher education in prisons. Subpoint D, production. One doesn't need a university degree to be successful in life. For example, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates did not receive any degrees. However, they're very successful. It's one's enthusiasm and motivation that drives them to achieve success and do something to improve society. Another example is the life of our great president, Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln never even stepped in a college. He improved himself through constant reading. What really helps prisoners is life skills rather than a degree. Moreover, providing free education to inmates who are sentenced for long term will not help them in getting employment after they come out. For example, Libby, an inmate of Maine State Prison, has 20 years left of a 40-year sentence for murder and robbery. He currently got his bachelor's degree when he was 32. He will come out of prison when he's 52. The average American retires when he is 60 years old. He will only have a few years to use that degree, and there's no guarantee that he'll be able to get the job he wants to. So in this way, the United States government will be wasting money. They can use this money for better things that'll help society. Today, the defendants have stated important reasons why the government should not be held responsible for funding higher education in prisons. Number 1, there is a better and cheaper alternative, meditation. Today, we have stated that meditation is cheaper than education, and it has brought drastic results. With this money we save, we can improve society. Number 2, we have stated the schools should be the top priority. If we cut back on funding to schools, the future will be in risk. Schools should be our top priority for funding because students control the future. If we have a weak school system, more prisoners will be in jail in the future. Number 3, prisoners should work to earn their college degree. If we just provide a college degree, prisoners might take it as a privilege. We don't know that they're going to work hard. If we have them work for their own education, we know that they'll work hard and actually improve from it. Instead of the government funding it, prisoners should work for their own education. And lastly, cultivating morals are the most important. You don't need a qualification to be successful in life. You have to be determined to be successful, that you're going to do something in society. Prisoners not necessarily need a college degree to do this. If they get life skill trainings and have people walk in and tell them what they can do with their lives, they can be very successful. For these reasons, I strongly urge you to take the evidence and not hold the government responsible for funding higher education in prisons. Thank you very much.
I think that completes the opening statement. And so I believe we're ready to proceed with the presentation of evidence. You may call your first witness.